This is the intro for the next vlog where I'm pretty much doing con prep. It's 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks until my big convention, and there's actually a lot to do. Today is going to be inventory check. That's probably the most important. Should have done it last week, but something's wrong with me and I'm doing it this week. Just to make sure that I have enough inventory to bring to the convention and to also cover any online sales that come in between now and then, and as well as when I return. So there's gonna be a lot of counting and stockpiling, but first I'm gonna snack up, eat my Starbies, and we'll go. Oh, look at the shirt. Yeah. Taking a little break from counting, had to mute my music so we don't get DMCA'd on the YouTubes. But I kind of wanted to touch up on, I was just thinking about this while I was doing my inventory counts. I know I brought it up at the intro of this video, but when one is doing a business, I figured, okay, let me circle this back. I figured I would talk about this, and I'm not 100% sure if I've talked about it in my other videos before, but it doesn't matter. This is this video now. If I want to talk about it again, I will. But I think a lot of people, especially when they're starting out and doing any sort of business venture, in particular, especially with businesses that are relating to like the creative slash entertainment or art stuff. So like, you know, I see this in my esports slash streaming, gaming, content creation side of work, and then as well as my business when I'm doing my art business, is people look at it as like, oh, you get to draw for a living, or you get to play video games for a living, or you get to do, you know, all of this fun stuff for a living. But that is just front facing, what I put out or what you see on social media as far as the content. But in reality, there's just really a lot of there's a lot of business like still actually involved in all of this that people don't realize, and that's heavily involved, that you have to keep up with. A lot of just, what is it, administrative work, accounting work, even bookkeeping, which is what I'm doing right now. I think I brought it up in the beginning of the video. I have to keep track of my merchandise inventory, not only for the sake of knowing what I have in stock so that I can make sure I don't run out of products that I'm selling online and bringing to the convention, but I also should have enough for when I come back, hopefully. I mean, it's obviously a good thing. It's not a bad thing if I sell out, but it does affect the business a little bit, knowing that I need to kind of either rush, produce more merch for my next convention, because I do have a lot of conventions coming up within the next couple of months. And some of them do not necessarily have that cushion in between to order new stuff. I mean, I'm pretty lucky for the most part that I produce a lot of my merch in-house, but I do outsource a few things. So that's something that I have to take into account and consider, is time and cost in producing a lot of these things. Another thing to keep in mind is packaging. You know, I don't just like hand prints or buttons or stickers to people as is, and like, you know, it shouldn't be up to the customer to be responsible to have bags for the stuff that they buy from me. At least not personally for me. I do not like that idea, and I use you know, I use that as an opportunity for more promotions and advertising. I think like you know, I have, like, for example, I have like stickers for my things for when people like order from me, or freebies that I can give out. So I think that's important, and bags and any form of advertising that'll show like, hey, this person just bought stuff from this from this artist. I should go check them out. I kind of like that. I want to see, you know, I want more business cards, all of that. So I think that's important. And And this even translates because I know some of my audience that are watching are probably more on the gaming slash esports side, and it's the same thing. Just because you see someone playing games for a living doesn't necessarily mean, or like casting or running a tournament, there's a lot of business and sponsorship and administrative work that is involved in all of that too. Uh, so I think that's like important to keep track of, and you don't want to just you don't want to make that mistake, the rookie newbie mistake of kind of just expecting things to work out and not keep track of all of that. So I'm just going to produce 20 prints and hopefully that should be good to last me forever, because then no, now you're either overproducing or underproducing, and that's money that you're wasting and not keeping in, not taking into account. And by the way, for anybody, at least like in the US, depending on like what form of business and tax situation you have, inventory is still something that you kind of have to like keep in mind when you're doing your taxes. So all of that is a factor and something to consider, blah blah blah. Anyway, I might have used this like little chit chat rambling to take a break from all of the number crunching that I'm doing here, but hopefully this helped somebody out there. If not, at least it kind of helped me take a break. Maybe I'll insert some B-roll before and after this of merch. I don't know, professional vlogger. But yeah, let's go back to a lot more con prep. It's crunch time. So I have this. This isn't my inventory count, it's actually this one, but this, and it's kind of messy because it's handwritten, but I do have it in my spreadsheet as well as another program in my computer where I actually keep track of how much I sell of each product at each event. And and it gives me a good idea as far as how to gauge, oh, I need to bring more than 10 of these, even though I usually only carry, say, 10 of each button design. But my Charmander, my Pokemon stuff, for example, they sell really well enough that 10 isn't going to be enough for the size of the convention that I'm going to. So I would typically probably carry a bit more because I'm not going to be crazy on the luggage fees and carry the backup here. And then at the end of the day, worst case scenario, if I sell out, I sell out. So that's actually something as a business, or if you're attending like events like this, is something you need to take into consideration and kind of keep track of. And you can do it, manually like I do, or use your point of sale device like your Square or PayPal reader or whatever like inventory tracker program you can find that you works best for you. Like there's like QuickBooks, or I don't know, anything really. Or a combination of both, like me, because I like to handwrite things since I like to get on the ground and count everything, and then I consolidate everything on the computer because I do have to think about not just physical sales or convention sales, but I also have my shop online that is also pulling from the same inventory, so I have to keep track of all of that. So I actually do have sales numbers here that tells me, oh, certain buttons or certain products will sell more than others. And it's also a little bit hard to predict because depending on like where it is, if it's like certain demographics, there's a difference between anime conventions and comic conventions and gaming conventions. So all of that stuff are factors that you need to consider and need to do research on. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like where I'm at is trying to figure out how much of actual products. Although, again, my rule of I bring 10 of each product and then I add more if they sell better. Especially the one that I'm going to is Galaxy Con Raleigh. So that's a 4-day convention. And at least pre-COVID does decent in numbers. So you kind of have to take that into account. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, enough rambling. Back to the numbers game. Hey. Alright, so it's been a couple of days since I charged my battery. I kind of forgot about it. I remembered it last night while I was streaming, and I'm like telling chat, "Oh yeah, this my room is a mess because I've been doing inventory." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, and I should have been vlogging." But at least I remembered now. I had a brownie for breakfast. I have my coffee. I'm actually working on this painting that should be done for the convention, and I'm pretty much almost done, at least with the counting for inventory stuff. The only thing I need to do are my large prints. After that, what is it, reconcile the physical count or my data sheet that I wrote down with my spreadsheet slash program on the computer, and then I should be good to go because I don't bring my whole inventory to the convention, at least not for all of them. Um, but I like to know what my overall inventory is as well as the inventory that I'm bringing so that when I'm there and I'm selling something, I know when I sell out versus what I have at home, if that makes sense. So I could always redirect people to say, hey, you can always just buy it on the website and I'll ship it to you. Um, Personally, I try not to do that. I would rather people buy it right then and there because you're more likely to turn a sale if they buy it on the spot versus when you tell them go buy it online. Anyway, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna end this vlog. I feel like there's a lot of content, but then I'm like, do I show you guys how I pack, how I do all that stuff? Well, that's very stressful, just trying to zig zigsaw jigsaw puzzle my luggage, but we'll see. If not, this is the end of the vlog. Otherwise, there's gonna be more content or more clips after this, and then I can end the vlog. We'll see. I don't know. It's getting crunch time, so I don't know how much time I'll actually have to be able to edit this and upload it before the convention, which is what the goal would be. So maybe, I don't know. Okay, goodbye or not goodbye.